I have like lipstick on my teeth. What's up? Oh, they're going to show up.
I'm trying to. You should be giving me another. There we go.
That's psychotic. Perhaps we can replace it. Okay, so I have this. Welcome. Welcome. You guys can let me know if you can hear me okay. We're going to give a second for a few people to log in. All right, so I have this over here just to have.
All right, we've got a couple. I can hear you.
All right, wonderful. Figure out how I'm going to be most comfortable with this. Trying something new today. Okay, so I like this idea. Not sure how stable it's really going to be, but we will give it a whirl and we're going to find out. It does sound like we have cats trying to get in here. How's everybody doing? Hope you're safe and healthy right now. If I were to fill this out and I were to turn it like this, let's see if they would be able to see it, even though it's not really going to make a ton of sense. Okay. I think that'll work. I'll try to do it that way. I'll try to like turn it around each time. Okay. Am I centered? Yes. All right. So, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Before we go ahead and get started, I want to make a couple announcements here. When this channel hits 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be merging the Ask a Medium show and the Ask Ivy show into one show that goes on weekly, rebranding under Ask Ivy. So we're not actually losing a show at all. We're just taking all of the different questions at once, and I'll be giving your horoscopes weekly. All right, so thanks so much for your likes, your shares, your subscriptions. We are almost there. I think we're pushing, I think we're pushing 900 at this point. So that's excellent. Okay, the next Ask a Medium show here is going to be Monday, May 4th at 9 p.m. The next Ask Ivy show is Wednesday, April 29th at 9 p.m. I do want to make an announcement for our walk-in night monthly psychic fair showcasing students and graduates of the Ivy League Psychic Academy, 100% virtual. A lot of people are like, what does that mean? Where is it? Where am I going? You know, what state? That virtual means online. It means it's on the computer. So, you know, so it's 100% virtual, walk-in night monthly psychic fair. And that's going to be Saturday, April 25th from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern. Now, that is a first come, first serve event. Okay, so for $15, you get 2 readings, 2 healings, a reading and a healing. Check it out. The website link is above. We also have my virtual gallery show. Last time was a huge hit. It sold out. That is also limited seating. So gallery show is where I sit in front of the audience and I give a message to each individual in the audience. If the camera continues to shake, that is my cat going crazy. So I apologize in advance and hope it doesn't tip. We'll try to let her out, go play with some mice in a minute here. So the virtual gallery show is going to be Saturday, May 9th at 8 p.m. Again, the link above, tickets on sale. I also have a special Ask a Medium show coming up on Friday, May 1st at 8 p.m. And if you guys could share this information, I would really appreciate it. It's called In Trial Times. It's the second one that I've done. It's exclusively for our essential workers, bus drivers, transit people, truck drivers, janitors, cashiers, nurses, whatever it is. If you are an essential worker, it's my way of being able to give back, say thank you to you, and give you some time, individual attention. I give a little bit longer readings on that show, and you can really ask anything, okay? Also, if you lost anyone to COVID or are dealing with health conditions yourself or job loss, financial distress due to the pandemic, okay, you're also part of that show. So In Trial Times is Friday, May 1st at 8 p.m. Okay, do we have a few people logged in?
Oh, yeah, it's looking good.
Looking good?
Firing away, ready to rock.
Yay. I should probably mention that part. So you guys start posting your questions if you haven't already. Questions here. This is the Ask a Medium show. So these are psychic, mediumistic, empathic, lost objects, paranormal, spiritual development. You can ask me things. You can ask really pretty much anything. And Paul will be taking those. Paul does appreciate if
you have a name, if you're asking about someone in particular, if you can include a name, the more information I have, the better it is for me.
Okay, names of living or deceased. That helps us save on time. All right, very good. Now, before we get into the questions, I'm going to give your weekly horoscopes. Now, I break these down by each zodiac sign, and I normally have a big board behind me, but I got sick and tired of twisting around. Plus, it was gigundo, and I felt like it was a little extra, so we've downsized. Not sure if I'm going to love this or hate this, but I'm already kind of feeling it. Okay, so I do something called automatic writing. It's not going to make any sense, even when I turn it around, probably, but basically, Spirit works through me, and I'll do some automatic writing on here, and then give your horoscope for the week, and then after that, we'll be taking your questions. Sound good, Polly?
I love it so
Yay.
much. Yes.
Thank you. All right. Okay. All right, so like always, we're going to start with Aries. And this is for Wednesday, April 22nd to Wednesday, April 29th. Okay, so Aries, what am I getting with you? Interesting. Okay. I feel like I'm going to tip this thing over, but we'll see. Okay, so I know this probably looks nutty. That's okay. I don't expect you guys to understand anything that's on the board. Just sort of ignore it. But so what we have for you guys, Aries, Thursday, the 23rd, there's talk of your love life. There's talk of your heart. Now, this doesn't have to exclusively be someone that you're romantically involved with, but for the majority of you, it feels like it might be. And it could even be someone from the past, someone you have unresolved issues with, an old love returning, or thoughts on an old love, and you processing, learning more from that relationship, even if it technically isn't here anymore. So it could be that they're here, it could be that they're not here, and it could also be family or friends, anyone who is in your heart in a literal way. So it has to be some type of an intimate relationship. What I'm feeling for that is that you need to speak. Now, when they're talking about speaking, they make me feel like this is something that you probably should have said, but you chose not to. And my feeling with it was that maybe you're being a little bit stubborn. I don't know if you're being stubborn because you feel they don't deserve to have that type of communication or receive that amount of love from you, or if you're feeling like you were just so maybe selfish or tied up in yourself that you didn't give it accidentally, almost like you overlooked it or something. go back to the drawing board. This individual may be showing up and asking you for it in some way, and their presence alone is asking for it. Okay, so they don't have to actually say it out loud. Now, on Friday the 24th, what I got with you was the winds of change. I saw a cloud coming in and sort of blowing everything in your life in a brand new direction. And there were 3 lines that came off of it, which is going to mean prosperity in 3 separate sections or areas of your life, or prosperity in 3 different ways. But I do feel that you need to go with the flow of that. And I do feel that it's somewhat karmic. So we could say that what you've built up to this point, you're going to reap the benefits of. You reap what you sow, so to speak. And what you haven't done, you're going to sort of take some losses, especially in the 3rd area of prosperity that I see there. I could see how it is contingent upon what you do. Okay, so be mindful to keep pushing. On Saturday the 25th, I see your money increasing. I see your money going upward. Now, whenever I see your money going upward, it's technically into a free will direction. So again, the prosperity that we're seeing, this could be with relationships. It doesn't have to just be finances. It could also be with health or the health of someone close to you. It's what we do. It's the choices we make. Okay, so it's not so simple that it's just going to fall in your lap. It is free will. It is up to you, but there is the potential for an increase there. Now, on Sunday the 26th, I'm seeing your money actually needing to go out, and I'm hearing giveaway. Now, it doesn't have to be your money. It could also be your time. It could be your resources. It could be anything that you have in regards to wisdom or something of benefit. But if you continue to give, or for those of you who've been stubborn with it, if you give for the first time, you're going to see greater prosperity come from that and blessings in a couple really interesting ways down the road. Now, on Monday, the 27th, I was seeing two new deals. Okay, so what this looks like to me is your work and money guide coming in here talking about 2 new contracts, 2 new gigs, 2 new work opportunities. If you've been looking for work, you may get 2 phone calls. I see 1 on email and I see 1 on the phone. 2 new opportunities. This could even be in love or with like moving, having 2 new outlets. But it's basically 2 new deals that are going to bring you long-term prosperity. Now, on Wednesday, the 29th, I saw your grandfathers. Your fathers, male figures. It could even be females that are more dominant in their energy. But I saw these people coming to you, giving you direction, and it was disciplined. Okay, so basically what they're saying to you at that time is stop crying, stop pouting, stop throwing a temper tantrum, stop being immature, be upright, be honest, state the facts, and try not to become manipulative on that day, like a child throwing a temper tantrum, okay? That's no time to do it, and while they didn't say it, I felt that it could actually cost you in a couple areas. Okay, so let's not go there. All right, you guys, have a great week. All in all, holy moly. Nice to be an Aries this week, huh?
This new board's tricky.
As long as they're paying attention. Why? What's wrong with it?
You were moving it, and I thought it was the cat moving it.
Oh, it will be. Don't worry. Okay, let's look at... I have OCD, so I'm like crazy about my colors here. All right, let's look at Taurus. What is going on with Taurus for this week? Okay. Okay. Well, okay, so Taurus is, you guys have a little bit of kind of similar to Aries, I guess you could say. Free will for sure. Okay, but your challenges this week might be in your speech, in your level of self-control, in your level of positivity, in acting your age, or maybe for some of you, it's best not to act your. Let's try to come at things from a mature perspective. And if we don't like what's going on, I'm validating that you have some circumstances going on right now, especially in positions of authority, okay, being over you and not being as respectful as they could be, or in areas where you feel that you're not being identified as a valuable player. Maybe you're not getting paid enough. You need a raise, you need a promotion. Maybe the government isn't sending you your unemployment money, okay? And like, that's your money, you need that money back. And you're frustrated. I get that, but throwing a temper tantrum again, this is the second sign, and this is the second time in a row I'm seeing this. So I'm wondering if we're going to have a theme. Throwing temper tantrums isn't going to get you there. So it's all about knowing what you deserve, manifesting that, staying positive, staying professional, and watching your mouth. Okay, you speak when you should, and you pull back when you should. Don't keep trying to beat the door down. Okay, you have to know the balance between what is your responsibility when it's your turn to act, and when it's the universe's turn to let some things play out, let some things unfold. I see you being very tempted on Friday, again on Monday, Tuesday, to force your energy in general. All right, let's break this down a little more clearly here. On Wednesday, the 22nd, I saw your heart, your love life, and a sense of wanting something sweet. Either wanting to have something sweet to give somebody else, and you're giving it to your past, to someone from your past, or a situation from your past, giving it the time, the energy, the creativity, the love that this situation or this person deserves. This could even be a part of yourself, that you're giving that to yourself. I do feel, though, that we might be talking about a love interest or someone who's in your heart, family, friends, anyone that you're intimately close to. And I am under the impression that they're trying to also give you something sweet, but it's very possible that you might not be observing it or being open to receive it. Now, there was also mention of you being introspective on Wednesday, the 22nd, and Thursday, the 23rd. Now, whenever Spirit's saying that you're going to be introspective, they don't say that like this is going to happen. It's more likely that it's not going to happen and that you're going to resist it in some way. And by all means, you should put it on the top of your priority list and make time for it. So get away, even if you have no room to get away right now. Go to a corner of your room or the bathroom or whatever you need to do, but create at least, I would say, 20 minutes of personal time to just sort of be quiet and to close your eyes and to go inward. Okay, so Wednesday and Thursday, you're going to need to do that. The point of them bringing this up is because there are answers there. Okay, your ancestors, your guides, God, your higher mind, they're trying to communicate with you and you're not getting it. All right, so that's a time to get the answers from in here, not out here. Too many people looking out here, okay, for answers that are never going to come. They're not out there. So Friday the 24th, we have your money not going down. There is an arrow going down, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything bad, okay? An arrow going down can mean skeletons in the closet, stuff swept under the carpet, or unfinished business. In this particular situation, for the majority, I feel like it is just unfinished business. There's something that you need to do, and they wrote installment there. So what that can mean is that there's some type of a payment that you need to make, or you need to invest your money in something, or you need to move your money over to another area. But be very mindful about how you're approaching that. Now, if you are doing this right, I see more prosperity coming in on the 25th, which is Saturday, and then Sunday the 26th. So they have both of those days an opportunity for investment. Now, this could be your money. This could also be your time, you being able to engage in a relationship, you having an opportunity to invest in something that will turn out to be very profitable down the road. There was also talk on Sunday, the 26th, about your career, your training, your education, There seems to be a call for something new. If you have been debating on going back or furthering, advancing, or you've never been, this is the first time you're thinking of doing this, now would really be the time. And if you've been asking, yourself, gee, I'm not really positive I'm on the right path with my work, it's becoming blatantly obvious. I want something new. Do I require education? Yeah. If you're a Taurus, that's what that looks like to me. On Monday, the 27th, there's talk of being quiet. I already mentioned this, so I'm not going to get into it again. Being quiet at your work, being quiet with your boss or your coworkers or whatever. Now, that does not mean that you're a doormat and you should not speak up for yourself, but know when to stop selling your agenda. On Tuesday, the 28th, we have you needing to be kind of quiet again, more of an observer, okay, of the situation, and taking advice from a female, whether it be an older sister, a friend, or just a female in your life who sort of has that older sister type feel. That's on Tuesday, the 28th. There's talk there of you needing to take advice from this person. And sometimes it comes in unsolicited ways. And I think you should say thank you, okay? And apply it, absolutely, without question, really. Okay, Taurus, have a great week. Geminis, my fellow Geminis, what is going on with you? Okay. Huh, we have shopping today. I don't know. I didn't, did you? We're going to find out what that's all about. I did go on the Coach website, naughtily. Okay, I see what this is. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let's see what we got here. Not too shabby, Geminis. We're going to have a pretty decent week, but doesn't come without a couple trials for sure. Okay, so on Wednesday the 22nd, which is today, I saw a mouse, and a mouse is really going to represent, somebody who's happy with maybe what they have, or they can get into small spaces, they can look at the simple things in life and feel fulfilled. They're kind of quick moving, it's funny. I sort of think of Geminis as being this way, kind of quick moving. You don't stay down for long, even if you get knocked down and maybe you get irritated or there are a lot of blocks in your way, but you just kind of go right around them and you just pick yourself back up and you just keep going, with this sort of high strung energy. And so I see you being the mouse, and I see you having to do it in a lot of different areas in your lives that day, okay, which again is today. So it's just sort of this idea of going around. If you look at a mouse in a maze in a lab, okay, it's sort of like, oh, I hit a wall. Oh, well, I know the cheese is there. Oh, I hit another wall. It's okay. I'm just going to keep going. Okay, there's a positivity there that's somewhat contagious and entertaining, and I think you need to tap into your Gemini mouse today. There was also talk of shopping, and I got excited and then realized I don't have anywhere to shop. But I think that the shopping has more to do with plans. So what Spirit said after that was that there were plans being made. There were things being put in your head, which means the universe is working with you, which means that you are downloading information. You are receiving guidance in some capacity. You're going to want to pay attention to your dreams tonight. You want to pay attention to any weird ear ringing that you had throughout the day. And you're going to want to make sure that you're taking the time, like I told Tauruses, to process, okay, whatever information is building up. Don't be surprised if you get the jitters or a headache today, because there's so much information coming in and it's building, and you're not taking a look at it. For a lot of you, it has to do with property. Looking at either purchasing a property, renovating your property, upgrading your property in order to sell it off, making an investment to it, whatever it is, expansion of your business into commercial property. There's just a lot of talk of the house. Now, for those of you that are looking at changes within your residency. This could be a good opportunity where things are brewing. I don't know if it came to you today, but you're definitely shopping around, so to speak. And it's in the works. But it also feels to me like coming to a sense of peace, okay? Coming to a final plan, having some type of a breakthrough where you feel that you know what direction you're going in with that. Now, on Friday the 24th, there was talk of love. And, well, in regards to this love situation, it felt like you may have an ex resurrecting. It feels like somebody from your past coming back in. Someone who is in your heart or an intimate relationship. Does not have to be a love partner per se, but anyone that you would have held close in your heart, possibly coming back and then acting very immature or childish. And I had you needing to cut them off. And, that may not sound like the most loving thing to do, but part of coming from a place of unconditional love in your life is also loving yourself unconditionally. And when someone treats you like garbage or is treading on you, it is your responsibility to show unconditional love to yourself first. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If somebody comes back around with a sincere apology or they've done some growth or development, that's another story. That is not Friday necessarily. Maybe for some of you it will be, but you'll have to analyze that. Okay, Saturday the 25th, I heard help your lover. And what that looked like to me was that you have, that pretty much says it all, okay? You have a spouse, you have a lover, you have someone you're dating, you have someone in a romantic partnership or even possibly a friend and you were a lover in a past life, and you can sense that. You're going to be helping them out in the type of way that would come from a lover, that would come from a spouse or a love partner. And I think that, I don't know if we're talking about like a supportive sexual connection to de-stress, or if we're talking about, I'm thinking of some inappropriate terms for that, but, showing mercy or pity almost. But it could also be a sense here of giving them the time to express themselves, because they may not be very good at doing that. And sometimes with people, you can't say, well, what is it? Well, share with me, well, spit it out. You can't do that. You have to just be there and just be available and sort of say nothing, say other things, lead into it with sharing yourself maybe about something you're going through, and then just let them unfold. Okay. But they need to release. On Monday, the 27th, I had some talk of parental issues and possibly your father. That carries on into Tuesday, the 28th. So whether you have a father who's going through something, you have a mother who's going through something, and or even if they're deceased and you guys are coming to some area of closure, we could be looking at some transition with the parents and you needing to give that time and attention. On Wednesday, the 29th, I saw revise your work. There's an area of your work where you're going to need to look backward at what you've built, and you're going to have to create some revision in order for it to go forward. Okay, Gemini, have a great week. Cancers, what is going on with you, my fellow Cancers? Okay. Okay. Now, on Wednesday, the 22nd, I'm seeing a situation where you Cancers may feel that you need to close the door on somebody or a situation that is no longer really serving you. And I feel like that's really valid. I feel like your sense of being done with this scenario is almost exhausting. It is already over, it already needs to have been shut down, or boundaries should have already been put on it, but for whatever reasons, it hasn't necessarily happened yet. And I think that it's really important that if we're talking about a love relationship here, a love partner that's become toxic or just void of anything substantial, reciprocity, growth, development, or we're talking about those closest in your heart, family, friends. When I say love, it could be anyone close in your heart. If we see that something really isn't working for you anymore, it's holding you back in some capacity, or it's become dark and heavy, you may need to close the door on that, okay, today. I was also seeing an attic, and Spirit was saying, clean out your attic and clean out your bathroom. Now that represents two separate parts of your life, your body. The attic represents your mind, your thinking. And so it's very possible that you have a lot of built up thoughts that aren't really processed in a productive way, so that you're not applying this information to your life. It reminds me of the way that I feel if I don't meditate, or sit with my guides for a day or two. No matter how busy things get, you have to take the time and schedule it as a priority in your life, weekly, daily even, where you're processing your thoughts just in general. So your attic is getting really looking backed up with junk in there. Okay, so process, clean it out. But the fact that they were also talking about the bathroom, what happens in the bathroom? Well, the bathroom is your cleansing process. That represents the parts of your life where you let go, wash away, extract, however you want to say it, you release things that are no longer serving you. So I could see very much how the attic would be connected to the bathroom. So it's sort of like clear out your thoughts. You're going to cleanse your energy naturally. Now, once this happens, prosperity could start flowing again. Okay, messages will come through. Things will make more sense. Now, on Saturday, the 25th, I'm hearing whispers from male energy as well as gossip. And what that's going to mean is that you are receiving some type of direction from either a male in your life or some authority figure who is in a position to tell you something that would be very accurate in helping you grow, develop, evolve, hit a prosperity point. They're giving you it's almost like insider's advice. So it's someone who maybe already knows how to do what you want to do, something along that line. And the advice is of great profit, but you could very well overlook it because they're really not shouting it at you. Okay, so when I talk about the still small voice or humans being used as the mouthpiece for God, this tends to be more quiet than loud. The loud stuff tends to come either from the dark or be a bit inaccurate. Okay, so we just want to be careful for things like that. The other thing that was coming up was some type of gossip that you're going to end up hearing about. And the gossip to me felt really toxic, as gossip tends to be, but in such a manner where it was trying to suck you in. So be mindful of anyone around you who's talking trash. They don't know how to stay in their lane. They're stirring the pot. We are all under very tight restrictions right now. We don't need any more drama. Okay, so just cut it off. Tell the person right to their face, you need to get control of that. I'm not even engaging in that. On Sunday the 26th and Monday the 27th, there was talk of you burying something, okay, and letting something go. I feel like it already sort of died. I feel like it already expired. I feel like it's a chapter of your life that is already done and complete, and you may have even had a ceremony for it and buried it and let it go and released it. But sometimes when you look at a new grave, you kind of keep going back and checking on it, and there's nothing there for a long time. And then like little baby grass starts to come up, and then, maybe flowers and things like this. And, eventually a grave can look like a really welcoming kind of a place that's blooming in its own way, like new beginnings, new life. And I see that happening for you more on Monday, the 27th, where new flowers are blooming from this thing that you recently had to bury. And I feel like it was really hard for you to let go of that particular person or situation. And it would have been over the last For some of you, it was even 2 years ago, but for many, it feels like it was over the last 6 to 7 months. And you may have had a peak with this issue about 4 months ago. So we have on Tuesday, the 28th, talk of a cycle with a house, residency, family issues, something going on within your domestic situation where this cycle is going backward and you're going to be forced to revisit things from the past. And then learn how to apply them to where you want to be going. So it's almost like an examination, not by your choice. You're being forced to look at what was there, what groundwork has been laid, what is the history and the story, and then figuring out how to use it to go forward. This would feel very similar to taking a situation that you didn't necessarily love and want to embrace, but saying, what are the lessons there? Okay, if I understand what the lessons are, then I can apply it to something greater going forward, not just be a victim to the circumstance. And it may involve other people, okay, with your residency, family, your housing, whatever it is. This could be a real estate issue as well. Wednesday, the 29th, we have for you food. Yay. What I saw with your food on Wednesday, the 29th was that, and I'm sure it's triggered by Tuesday's events, don't start eating junk, okay? Don't do the self-loathing thing or the comfort food eating, the binging, okay? On Wednesday the 29th, make sure that every bite counts and be mindful about what you put in as well as what you put out, meaning what you say. Okay, Cancers, have a great week. What is going on, Leos? Oh my goodness. Leos, you remind me a bit of the Geminis this week. Okay. Okay. Good. All right. So Leos, I feel like on Wednesday the 22nd, today, we're looking at you being in a bit of a power position. So what they're showing is you in a fast-moving vehicle going forward, behind the wheel. Anytime I see you behind the wheel, that's exactly where I want to see you. That means that you are feeling more in control of your life or a situation. Possibly you're taking control over it for the first time. But it also looked like it was moving a little bit too quickly. So I also feel like you may need to slow down, dot your I's, cross your T's. Remember that it's okay to almost wait on other people. It's almost like it's almost like here you are in this car and you're like, you know, so fast down the street, dragging other people along on your bumper and they're picking up dust and dying and falling behind you. You know, maybe other people can't keep up. That's a given. Obviously not. But do you need to sometimes slow down for them, even though you're energetically feeling like it's not necessary or you could get more done for the entire group? You also run the risk today of picking up more than what you should. So boundary setting. What is mine? What is others? What is my responsibility? What is others' responsibility? Stay in your lane. Don't take on more than you ought to. I also feel like there's someone coming to you for help. This could be an ex. This could be a brother. This could be a male friend. This is someone, I do feel male energy, but it could also be a female with some dominant energy coming to you and asking for, I don't know that it's advice as much as it is kind of a handout in some way. So possibly quite literally a helping hand. And this could be with money or heavy lifting in some area of their life. And I feel like even if you're tired or you didn't want to give it, you may need to give some time and attention there. Now, on Friday the 24th and Saturday the 25th, I'm hearing love and I'm seeing frustration. Now, this could be any area of your life where you love the person, children, family, friends, like I say, but it felt for the majority of you like this was romantic. And I use that term loosely because I don't know how much romance is actually there. But you may find yourself with a love partner and you literally cannot stand them anymore. When you get to the point where you feel like you want to tear someone's face off, it might be good for you to take some time away. I think, though, what's smart to do in this situation is not just to go back and sweep it under the carpet and act like it didn't happen again. Okay, we can't keep having this cycle resurrect itself again and again and again. There's only so much time and space you can take away from this. It is a dysfunctional situation, and we need to get to the root of the issue. So whether it's poor communication, it's time to go to the counselor, it's time to say to this person, you know, I'm setting boundaries, or it's time to leave. Whatever it is, you're going to have to take a serious look at how you plan to go forward, because we can't just keep this up. Okay, on Sunday the 26th, and then again on Monday the 27th, and for some of you, I even saw it tipping over into Tuesday. Spirit's making reference to you and your speaking abilities. And I feel like this could be connected to some of the things that you saw today with your leadership, but it felt to me like it was a little bit broader than that. It felt almost like you might find yourself communicating with groups and noticing that everyone's eyes and ears are really very focused on you. And it's a productive scene, because even if someone who was more qualified, or someone who, you know, actually is in that position of leadership and authority, if they were to speak, they would not be heard, but you are being heard. Okay, I can't think of a better way to explain that. So you're being seen when normally maybe you haven't been, or you wouldn't be. All right, so that ultimately is probably leading to something much bigger. Be mindful of it and use it. On Tuesday the 28th, there was talk of a potential promotion coming to you. Now, this promotion is not necessarily based on your karma or how much work you've done. It's based on whether or not it's actually time. So if you do have a promotion that's supposed to be coming to you, or you feel astrologically like it's the right time, or it's part of your life contract, it's something you've been working toward, you know, you've had visions of it, you know it is yours, it is coming. But there is some debate as to whether or not this is the exact right moment. And sometimes when we get our breakthrough, it sort of starts and stops, starts and stops, starts and stops. But for some of you, yes, it will be actually going through. On Wednesday, the 29th, there's talk of your elders reaching out to you. And what I thought was really interesting about this was that they were giving you direction. And then all of a sudden, your elders, now these could be living or deceased, all of a sudden, they were asking you for advice. So some of you are going to be receiving direction. Pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to your ancestors, elders in your family, your community giving direction, but also them needing something back from you. And the way that it felt to me was that when they approached you, they were saying, and at night, this often comes through in almost like a meeting type setting, you know, people sitting in a circle. It often feels like that. And them asking you to help the community or help the whole. Okay, what could you do? What wisdom do you have to offer, or skill do you have to offer for the greater good? And so I feel really good about that. A lot of teamwork going on. Okay, Leos, have a great week. Okay. Virgos, what is going on with you? Come out. Okay. 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 All right. So we have a couple different things here for you guys starting today. Let's talk about releasing. Okay. So on Wednesday, the 22nd, Again, for Virgos, we have you letting go of a property, letting go of a residency, letting go of a living situation, releasing yourself from something that's been somewhat entrapment, I hear, and feeling like there's a situation or a relationship or, a residency, you don't even care anymore. It's like, I don't even care. I just want to let it go. I'm ready to let it go. Sometimes we have to reach that point where we've been sort of holding on to something for far too long. And then we think of it and we're just like, ugh, I don't even anymore. I have no desire to even try to milk anything else, to wring any more truth or lessons out of this thing, or emotionally it doesn't sort of appease you in that stagnant victimhood way, that it once had. It just has nothing else left to it. Okay, so there's a sense of letting something go. And I think that this is going to be literal for some of you, but I think that it's figurative for many, where it's a thought or an emotion, or, you're just so sick of replaying some scenario in your head. So do, in fact, let it go. And that is a way to sort of cleanse yourself, cleanse your life. And then again, allow for more prosperity to come in, for things or people, situations to come in to replace that thing that you're letting go of. On Thursday, the 23rd, and this goes into Friday the 24th as well as Saturday the 25th. There's some talk of money and hoarding your money. I know a lot of people are doing this right now because we just don't know what's going to happen. And so if you do have money to hoard, and many have nothing, left to do this with, but maybe you have resources, maybe you have, knowledge of something, maybe you have some type of a tool, or, the right people. If you can hoard what you have that's of value, I feel like now would be the time, okay, just to kind of put that away and wait for, a rainy day to let it back out. And I see you just sort of acting like, I don't even have it. I don't even know what you mean. I don't even have it, and just keeping it in a box somewhere. On Saturday, the 25th, there's talk of come out, come out. I heard come out wherever you are. And they have a big heart here, which can mean that you have a new love partnership. Oh, theater. Okay, I see I can't even read my writing. So it looks like there could be some kind of a new love partnership. And I don't know if you were like on a dating site and then it wasn't active, and then all of a sudden, bing, 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 like people are responding to you, or if you just downloaded the app again, or if it's new. I can't tell exactly what's going on with this, but there seems to be some situation that was not moving before that is now sort of exploding. And my sense here is that in any area of your life where love is trying to bloom, you need to pay attention to it. And don't assume that that has to be romantic, okay? Any area. And love is everywhere. Love is everywhere. And you want to engage in that. But there's lots of talk of you needing to be playful. You needing to be more childlike on Saturday. And there was talk of the theater. So I don't know if you end up in some cosplay situation, or it's almost like you're on stage, or there's a theater that you get to go to, or you're just watching movies at home, whatever it is. It's very theatrical, and I feel funny. Okay, somewhat comedic and engaging. All right, on Sunday. Okay, so Sunday the 26th, there's talk of too much noise. Okay, too much noise. For those of you that are empathic, this is really going to affect you on those days. And I'm wondering, because we're talking to Virgos, if this has something to do with Mercury or the transits of the planet, but it feels like you're really hypersensitive to bright lights, loud noises, crowds, and somebody or multiple people might be around you that day that are just way too loud. And, some people just can't help it. They're extroverts and they're out there, but it will literally feel like an attack on your person and a complete mental and emotional meltdown. So create boundaries on that day. I love you, but no, or I love you, but I can only do this for an hour, whatever it is. Cut yourself off. Now, Monday the 27th into Tuesday the 28th, I have a similar theme going on here, and that has to do with possibly a vehicle or something that you've decided to get rid of or trade in. So this could be sort of like you're looking for an upgrade. It could also be you kind of giving up your leadership or your control position in an area whether it's delegating or selling off your business, or it's just making a decision to sort of step down or step out of the way or let the kids take over and who cares for the day. I mean, literally whatever, it's a power symbol, the car is, and I saw you trading it in. So we may need to let go. That would be wise. Okay, Virgos, have a great week. Libras, what is happening with you? Okay. Libras, I feel like you're everyone's parent this week. My goodness. You're stepping up. You're stepping up like you haven't had to step up in a long time. Wow. I don't know if maybe you're the only one in your family who kept your job, or your boss is like, I don't know anything about technology, take over the whole business, and something is going on here that's like batty. And I think that while it's great prosperity for you, it's good financially. Maybe you're taking on additional responsibilities with the kids and in the house and things like that. I think that it's also tiresome. And I think that you can only kind of keep up with that as much as is reasonable, and I'll say this, like through the quarantine, we've had so much additional work, and due to COVID deaths, so much additional work. And where I expected to be kind of hibernating, I am actually overloaded and hitting burnout at this point. And it's like, you have to step back at some point and say, okay, I'm approaching that mark. How am I going to revise? Do not keep allowing for it to pile on and on and on. And don't wait until you get to the point of burnout to say, I'm going to have to step back. You can feel it coming. You're getting irritable. You're not sleeping the same. There are aches and pains. Headaches are starting to set in. That's it. You're done. Okay. So now you're going to say, all right, I have to make actual concrete plans to create this space for myself. So whether you're doing it literally, mentally, emotionally, it's going to have to happen. And I feel you're not wanting to. I feel you like full steam ahead, like 180 miles an hour, not paying attention to where you are in all this. Primarily on Wednesday the 22nd, Thursday the 23rd, and Friday the 24th. Okay, that's where they're really talking about this. And Saturday the 25th, there's some talk of hiring help. So whether you're hiring tutors to come in and help the kids, you're hiring someone who can come clean your house, you are delegating to other people in your life. In some capacity, you need to hire help, okay? So to speak. Let some of it go. That means there's probably no other real option. Okay, bring somebody in. For those of you who are listening to this and you're automatically saying, oh, well, I don't have help. Oh, well, I don't have that. Just the universe will provide it. So now all you have to do is look, open up, and accept it. We're not to Saturday yet, so don't negate it before it's even here. Sunday the 26th, there's talk of you being with a child or being with a situation who requires a situation that requires a lot out of you, or being with people that are maybe more immature and require your leadership. And it's funny to look at that situation of those people sometimes, because they're just like, like kids, they're like dogs. They're just enjoying themselves. And like a dog could just lay in the sun and just everything's fine, floating along the sea of life. But you're the one who's in charge of everything. It must be nice for them, right? So there they are being like that, and you're trying to engage with it and keep everyone optimistic and pull all the weight. And you realize on Sunday that you need to feed your soul. Okay, something is lacking there, and the exhaustion level seems to really hit a peak or a rock bottom point. Okay, the fact that Spirit wrote "feed your soul" when I actually wanted to say like "go and rest" myself psychically can mean that it could be both ways. But we'll go with them more. That's going to mean that you are actually in a position to rejuvenate yourself and feel better and happier, have more energy, and recoup by doing something, engaging in something that you enjoy, like a hobby. Okay? Now, on Monday, the 27th, there's talk of laughing, you laughing with a crowd of people. And then I saw a sad clown walk through. So I'm under the impression that, you're sort of still upbeat, still optimistic, still tired, but still doing great, pulling this weight and like laughing and, socializing with others. But then kind of like, very quickly that sad clown just kind of came out of nowhere. And I feel like that's okay. It's okay to be a sad clown. It's not about hiding yourself away. It's not about wearing a mask. It's about being where you are. Okay? And that's okay. Okay. So, Libras, have a great week. Scorpios, what is going on with you Scorpios this week? Okay. Okay. Let that go. Okay. You guys have a little bit of a roller coaster ride going on this week. Okay, so let's see. Scorpios, what is happening with you starting Wednesday the 22nd, going into Thursday the 23rd? There's talk of somebody in your circle who doesn't know how to stop talking, and they're not going to. There's someone around you who is either giving bad advice, or they have this sort of toxic energy, or they're always rambling on about something that they're interested in, but like nobody can connect to it. There's something annoying about this person's energy, and I would be surprised if they have all three. And it's sort of like you're done saying to them, could you tone it down? Could you be respectful of my energy? Some people have no audience awareness. And this person in particular, or this, let's say that this could also be a situation, okay, just in case. This situation has become, there's a bent on sort of taking you down with it. Not because it or this individual wants to do you harm, but because they're selfish. And because they don't care if they do anyone else harm. Sometimes when a situation is greedy, or a person is needy, they'll just take and run you over in the process. So you're going to have to take responsibility for that and say, I am going to not tell this situation to this person that I'm requesting that they stop or cool it a little bit. I'm actually just going to remove myself from it. So it's actually you that stops talking or feeding the situation, and that's where the resolution can finally come from. On Saturday the 25th, we have talk of a relationship that feels old to me. So this could literally be anyone in your life that's been there for a while. And I see skeletons in the closet, stuff swept under the carpet, unfinished business coming to the surface. We could call this maybe a closure on a cycle, or karmic debt being paid off, lessons being learned. But there's some energy here that says you and this person in relationship has come to an end. Now, if you can apply this to a situation in your life or a job or something like that, so be it also. On Sunday the 26th, okay, so this one was a little interesting. On Sunday the 26th, and I feel like it trickled over into Monday the 27th. There was talk of your money, your wealth, your wisdom, the things that you own, okay, your prosperity in whatever way. There was talk of it potentially going in a forward-moving direction because we have a shift. And we're shifting out of what has been free will. For a while with your prosperity, with your money, let's say, okay, we're talking about you making decisions, and it's up to your free will, what you do with it. But all of a sudden, it just shifted to the right, which is destiny charted, which is probably in alignment with your life contract and planetary shifts. All of a sudden, it becomes this very fixed. situation, and it stops really being up to you and up to what you do. Now, what may be coming of it is, if you did everything right during the free will zone, okay, you're going to have some type of an inheritance. So they said inheritance. This could be connected to females in your life also for some of you. So whether it's grandmothers, mothers, maternal energies, we would be also talking about possible will, an estate, a contract, a court situation, a legal situation, a house, okay, real estate, property, anything could be transitioning into your hands during that time. But there was also some talk on Sunday the 26th of some examination of where else your finances, your wisdom, your resources may need to go, possibly helping someone else, giving more to the kids than what you thought you would, or needing to examine where it's been going and how you want to revise where it's going to be going, okay, where it's headed in the future. So definitely some analysis on the past. On Wednesday the 29th, I saw things getting really kind of like a roller coaster. You know, I saw your emotions in between Monday the 27th to Wednesday the 29th being a little bit downtrodden, a little heavy, a little depressive, I guess you could say, but mostly like frustrated and irritated. Maybe with some people around you who aren't delivering, or situations that aren't delivering what you think you're worthy of having, okay? And I think that it's important for you to understand that it's up to you to get your needs met. It's up to you to provide yourself with happiness and joy and fulfillment in your life. You can't wait on other people to do that, and you shouldn't be taking direction from other people. But on Wednesday the 29th, there's this happiness and this joy, and you're sort of coming out of that funk. And I saw you playing more, and I saw you literally on this roller coaster, which is, you know, maybe your emotions and things like that, but it can also sort of represent, you know, an amusement park where you're going on rides and you're sort of getting back, re-engaging with the thrill of life and the things that can happen, okay? Many, many possibilities. Okay, Scorpio, have a great week. Ugh. Hi, come here. All right. How am I doing on time? How much time has it been?
It's been an hour.
Okay. Sagittarius, what is going on with you? Okay. All right, very good. Wednesday the 22nd, which is today, we have two arrows going in a forward destiny charted direction, which is going to mean that it is fixed. It is within your life contract. It would also show up in your astrology, Vedic or Western, as being opportunities that are now unleashed. They're moving forward. Windows of prosperity, doors open for you. And I feel like you need to take those. I really feel that there's nothing standing in your way right now but yourself. And if you do find yourself in a situation where your work has been limiting, or your spouse is limiting, or you have to pay, you want to keep putting money into the kids' college fund, and that's limiting, these are still technically your concepts, okay? So it's still technically really on you to push and move forward and take these things. So don't misunderstand what I'm saying. It is on you, even if they are part of that. There's also talk on Wednesday of you eating healthier, taking better care of your body, being more nourishing, because I don't know if you're just snacking a lot or you're not being mindful about what you're putting in. Now, sometimes, can we let the cat out? Sometimes when we're talking about food going into your body, we're not just talking about, you know, nutrition, literally. We're talking about TV, conversations. Okay, what are you feeding yourself right now? So you need to examine that today. Saturday the 25th, they're talking about rewriting and ending. You are going to be rewriting an ending for yourself, and I think that this is thrilling. So that looked great to me. I think that you're approaching a mark in your life in some capacity where you're saying, you know what, these thoughts that I'm having about where things are going or where things would appear to be ending up. Nope, that's not going to be the ending. And you're deciding to reroute. However, a lot of the choices that you're making and this rewriting of this plan may not match at all where you've been. So it's intriguing. Sunday the 26th, there's talk of you healing others. So whether you're in the medical field, you're in the healing arts, you have people that you take care of, maybe aging, elderly, or children. I see you really being on the front lines that day, needing to give them the time and attention. And I think that you're going to be given some type of energy. Sometimes you wake up on those days and you're like, oh my God, I literally can't do this. I am dead. This is it. And you just get some kind of supernatural energy that channels through you to get the job done. So try not to think ahead. Stay in the present moment, show up, okay? God will pull you through. On Tuesday the 28th and Wednesday the 29th, there's some talk of your grandparents, there's talk of elders, there's talk of ancestors, and those that watch over you in not even a parental way as much as quite literally, okay? Like elders, grandparents. And I think that they're coming and offering you support in a couple different areas of your life to ease your burdens. I think that some of you are feeling as though you have circumstances that are holding you back and it's starting to run you into the ground a little bit. Maybe you're getting impatient or you feel like, oh my God, how much longer can I hold on, on this cliff? And you don't feel like you have a net, but you do have a net. Okay. So you could just sort of let go and they will catch you. Circumstances will work out when it's time for them to work out, not in your timing, but when it's time for them to work out. And you may not have everything that you want, but you will have everything that you need. And on Wednesday, the 29th, there is also talk of angels coming and supporting you. And the angels that I saw were guardian angels, which means they're watching over your mental and emotional well-being. And if you have a child or a female in your life who needs that healing as well, they're going to be offering it to that person. So if there's someone you've been trying to help or take care of and it's burdening you because maybe they're not doing so well, the support is also going out to that individual, okay, which in turn helps you. Okay, Sagittarius, have a great week. Capricorns, what is going on with Capricorns? Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Capricorns, today you just might be like not having it. I don't know. I don't know if you said goodbye or if you just left, okay? But I basically feel like you just sort of cut everybody off, and maybe you left work early or you were just like, I am retiring, to my lair, and you have closed the door and you're just crystals and, plants and whatnot, and your tarot cards or something, and you're not coming out, maybe for a couple of days, and that's fine. But I see that happening on Wednesday the 22nd and sort of leading into Thursday the 23rd, but people knocking and trying to get you to come out of your room. But, when you're done, you're done. And when it's time to go inward, it's time to go inward. And that's all there is to it. And I feel like you're not setting boundaries on yourself right now for that. So I feel good about that. On Friday, the 24th, there is talk of some illusions being, they said busted, but it looked to me almost like somebody is being exposed, a situation is being exposed. This could be affecting you more based on our government, our political leaders, a lover in your life, a parent, a boss, someone who owns your property, someone in a position of authority. Somebody is being exposed, kind of busted, okay, for some fraudulent type of activity. And it is possible that for some of you, you're just going to feel it as though someone maybe you thought you understood or you had been putting up on a pedestal, the illusions are shattered. and you have a clear understanding of who they are now. I also see you wanting to put rose-colored glasses back on and live in sort of an imaginary world. And I'm wondering if maybe that's just because you don't feel that you're emotionally or mentally ready to process all of that information. And I don't know that that's a problem necessarily, but we don't ever want to live in illusions. It leads to bigger problems down the road, emotional disturbances, mental illnesses. Okay, you can't live there forever. So you want to take the day off to kind of live in la la land, so be it. But I'd pull your act together by Saturday if you could. Okay, so on Saturday we have some talk of you either getting away to have some form of entertainment that you really enjoy, investing in some form of entertainment, maybe even, downloading a great movie or listening to some new music, doing something that is strictly entertainment, something that you can get lost in a healthy way. And that will help you to recoup and get your energy level back to where it needs to be. Now, on Sunday, the 26th, there's talk of some angry people around you, and they seem to be male energies mostly, but this could also be females with a lot of dominant energy. I would not rule out that this is maybe a son, a brother, a family member, a spouse, a coworker, whatever. Somebody just being very, very angry. And I feel that it's important to remember what I talk about in empathic awareness. What is mine and what is others? What is yours and what is mine? Who cares if people are angry? Let them be angry. It doesn't, just because they're doing it and you happen to be there, doesn't mean that you have to control it or calm them or make them feel better or that they have to stop being angry. As long as they don't lash out literally at you, try to just tune it out and it's not even your problem. You really, 99.9% of the time, don't have to care what other people are thinking or feeling, okay? It's an illusion that it's affecting you that day. But it is annoying, and it won't last long. On Monday, the 27th, Tuesday, the 28th, and Wednesday, the 29th, we have a little bit of a theme going on here where you're looking at ways to spread your wings, become a butterfly, reach a point in your life where you no longer feel oppressed or caged. They're referring to you as being a bird. You may actually have a lot of birds swooping down, hitting your window, going past your car, hawks, even eagles, things like this. Watch out for all kinds of birds coming in, sort of representing really you, and where you are and that freedom that you want to have. And I feel like around that time, you're done saying, I want to have that freedom. And you're saying, okay, let's put it into action. Let's create a game plan. And I feel that you have the keys, you have the master keys to doing that. It doesn't matter what anybody else in your circle wants. You can create that for yourself, okay? And it could be like a one-year plan even. On Wednesday, the 29th, there's talk of you getting away and taking a vacation. If you're not literally doing this or able to do this, you are definitely figuring it out. And I wouldn't be surprised if for many of you, it's like, work and pleasure. But for many, it looked like overseas or on or near the water and possibly even a boat, which can mean a cruise or something like that. So I think that's exciting too. Have a great week, Capricorns. Aquariuses. You like that?
I do.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we're really getting with this. All right. So, Aquariuses. Why does that not sound right? I'm starting to go bonkers. Okay. Who knows? I'll be speaking in tongues here in a minute. It's going to get entertaining. All right. Wednesday, the 22nd. Today, what I have going on with you is a house which represents yourself. It represents your life and your space. And I have foxes times 2. A fox is symbolic of a situation or a person who is not necessarily good for you, who is sneaky fox, is up to some type of harm or looking to do damage. And I saw you putting a fence around yourself. So, a fence around the house, so to speak. What this is going to mean is that you are either trying to keep something in close to you. You don't want to give this thing up and over to the foxes, to the troublemakers, to the problem in your life, or you're trying to literally keep them out, okay, and prevent them from coming in and stealing and taking. So you should understand this. It is most likely a literal situation, but it's definitely affecting you mentally and emotionally as well. All right, so build that fence, and it's going to be a little while longer. I see that could be 2 days, but I was feeling more like 2 weeks, 2 months, that this situation might be something that you need to endure and navigate. But it feels to me like you have more control than what you think you do, and your free will may dictate that this thing could come to an end, a conclusion sooner, if you play your hand right. Now, on Thursday, the 23rd, I saw a cat, which is an additional warning symbol. Not as bad as the foxes, but there could be another party involved, or another piece of information might become exposed. Another secret may be revealed on Thursday pertaining to this situation. So just be very watchful. It could also come to you in a dream. I would not rule out, okay, you guys are feeling pretty psychic right now. I wouldn't rule out that you can see these things through a prophetic dream and understand how they're going to play out. Pay attention to everything. If your right ear is ringing, or you get a weird pressure in your ear, the grandmothers used to say left for love, right for spite, and that was fairly accurate. The right ear is not necessarily spite, but it is definitely a psychic warning about something. Saturday the 25th, we have a heart, which means that we're talking about your love life or someone that you love in your circle. And we're talking about feeding that relationship in a healthy way, because it's possibly been neglected, or this other person has been neglected. You know, a lot of people right now are just getting ground, you know, right into the dirt. And Jesus, hi. They're just getting, you know, they're getting worn. And because they're getting worn and everyone's in survival mode, maybe you haven't been able to take care of the relationship, okay, also. Or there just hasn't been time, whatever it is. So make the time, okay, for that person in your heart on that day. On Sunday the 26th, we're talking about your money. Okay. If some of you are a little stingy, a little thrifty with your finances, or your wisdom, or your materialistic, you know, goods, anything that you have that would be of value in some capacity, on Sunday the 26th, you're being asked to invest it. And it's sort of like saying, you know, what you put in, you get out, okay? Or to make money, you have to spend money, or, you know, to have friends, you have to give in a loving way. There's all this reciprocity going on there, concepts of reciprocity, but up until that point, you're not giving anything. So you're going to need to kind of cough it up, okay, in order to have. And even if it's a situation where you're like, oh, well, I want better communication with my family, or I want better ties to my community, then go out there and start volunteering or give, or, okay, you're going to have to figure that out. But for many of you, it felt financial, like an investment opportunity. Monday, and I was also supposed to say about that, it's very possible that somebody's coming to you and trying to get you to invest in their business, and you're looking at them as being like maybe an unsafe bet, or immature, or it's your kid and you don't really know they can pull it off, or, you know, you're over questioning it. You're investing in a business, first of all, okay, and you're investing in this person, and the product itself is actually of value. It's something that's marketable. So don't overthink it because you're just looking at the person. Monday the 27th, there's talk of two two different situations, thoughts, circumstances coming to the surface with you that you're trying to shut out. And my feeling with that was that you can turn off to engaging in things, but only for so long. If you're going to shut somebody or shut something out, you're going to need to sort of come up with a game plan privately about how you're going to go forward to make this thing productive in some way, or set boundaries, or eliminate it. You can't just continuously shut out. And it felt to me like it could be even a family member or someone in your close circle who has done two things that were really inappropriate, or they have two problems, or it could be two people. Okay, so just be mindful that it's a Band-Aid, but it's not an ultimate solution to just tune it out. On Wednesday the 29th, I'm hearing helping. Oh, nice. Okay, helping hand to you. A helping hand coming out to you. And it came from your ancestors, your angels, your guides, the universe, God. It was sort of like this help. It reminds me of the tarot card. What tarot card is that where the hand is coming out from a cloud?
Four of Cups.
Four of Cups. Okay, so you may want to Google that for additional insight, but it felt like that. And it felt like based on that image, you were going to receive some help and support, not only from the other side in spirits, but also from some living people or situations. And it's almost like, people are the mouthpiece for God. So it may work through the humans and allow you to have some opportunities for growth and development, and to get rid of a monkey on your back. Okay, so that's also nice. Aquarius have a great week. Pisces. What is going on with you this week, Pisces? Okay. Okay. All right. So on Wednesday the 22nd, we have an opportunity for you to share your wisdom, and you might feel excited about having an opportunity to either use your degree in a way that you never did, or to advance in your career, or to be put into a position of leadership, whether this be with a volunteering project or, really anything. I have a new opportunity, and you being excited about it, allowing you to share something that you know or something that you do. And I would not be surprised if this leads, if you keep it up, because I also see you sort of going by what's offered versus propelling it forward based on your own accord. Like if it's only 2 dates where you'll be doing this, then it's only 2 dates where you'll be doing that. But could you yourself expand upon it? Yes, absolutely you could. So it's not over, take the reins and expand upon this opportunity into even publishing. So whether that's like YouTube, print, podcast, I could go on and on, even on social media. Just, I see more publishing of your information, which is in my base only going to mean that you're saying what you know to larger groups of people, okay, in some capacity. So an interesting breakthrough there that I feel kind of came out of nowhere. It's like it just fell right out of the trees. Now on Friday the 24th, there's talk of you feeling like you're stuck in time, or like the time clock has stopped, or like you're going backward in your life. And I think that in areas where you're feeling defeated like that, you need to stop avoiding it and punishing yourself for feeling that way and saying, oh, I should just be grateful for what I have, or I should just be thankful for where I am, or You know, I hate this one. People say, well, it could be worse. You know, people are in a lot worse off. So that means you shouldn't want to progress your life forward because someone else in the world is in a worse situation. There's a time to have an attitude of gratitude, and there's a time to be complacent, and there's a time to try to come to terms with where you are and understand that you're waiting on the universe to work some things out. You've done all that you can. And there's a time to be motivated to move forward and create some significant change. And that would be the day to create that change. Sunday, the 26th, I heard just say no, and that there could be someone of influence coming in, whether this be a parent, a grandparent, you know, an authority figure, a boss, a spouse. I mean, it could be anyone who really sort of has a way of dictating a little bit what happens in your life. And even if they don't, you're still living under that illusion. It's like a dialogue that you're playing into with this person or this situation, and they really don't anymore. But they could be making you uncomfortable. The situation itself could be demanding more of you than what you really want to give. And that could be where you don't want to spend more time and attention. And you're going to have to look back and say, you know, how much have I given of my energy to this person, this relationship, this situation, and am I done? And I feel like, yeah, you are done. I don't think it's appropriate to completely ghost, but I do think that you need to state your position, and which is that you're not going to be there anymore. Wednesday, the 29th, there's talk of you sort of, it was interesting. I saw a tree, which is symbolic of prosperity, but I saw you hiding behind it. And then I saw a lover, someone who is maybe really wanting to be close with you in a relationship, almost in a kind of a stalking kind of a way. I get a lot of these people who just want to be my bestie straight out of the gate. And it's uncomfortable and awkward. And, you know, you have to set boundaries with people because sometimes they're just so into you. And you don't really understand where that's coming from. It's definitely not natural or normal or coming from a place of reciprocity. They're just on their own trip, okay? And you need to say, they're in here to drain me, clearly, because they're coming to take something to get you to engage so that they can take something from you. And you have to remember that they could do that even if you're not engaging. So there was someone else there and trying to take from your energy, your prosperity, your life, just from you in general, possibly romantically, but it does not have to be. And you were sort of hiding behind this tree. Remember, a tree is a symbol of prosperity for you, for your life. But the fact that it has such strong roots, it's also good for earthing, grounding, staying rooted and centered. It's where you go to heal. Okay, we come in contact with nature to heal. And I think that you need to set clear boundaries there, possibly by ignoring or cutting off or completely avoiding, altogether, but also get in touch with nature on that day and understand that what is your prosperity, what is your energy, what is, you being the fabulous you that you are, that's yours. And you don't need to let anyone tap in and drain you of that because they're chaotic and manic and out of control. Okay. So whether that's a situation, that's a person, or that's a group of people, keep it out of your energy field on that day. All right, Pisces, have a great week. That's it, folks. We're going to get into the questions now. So if you didn't already post yours, go ahead and do that. How's it going?
Great.
How do we like this little board? I like the little board.
That's all that matters.
And Spirit likes the little board. Yeah. It's like, I don't feel dizzy.
It came with 2 magnets.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I put them on the fridge.
Oh, how cute.
Now we have 2 more.
Fun.
Yeah.
Okay, we have questions?
We do.
Okay. Super shiny. Okay.
You got complimented on your hair.
My hair?
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Very early on, yeah.
Oh, how nice.
So, hi, I like your hair.
Thank you.
Yes. I won't be getting that compliment. Unfortunately.
I love your hair.
Thank you.
many, many hairs at this point.
So many. Okay. Whenever you're ready, you let me know. Okay. We have one from 602. My husband abandoned me in February and has pill addictions to controlled substances. I'm trying to save our marriage. What can I do? And that's his name.
That's his name? You might need to speak louder. Okay, I don't know if you guys could hear that or not, but basically this question was one of the private questions that came in through text, and it was that her husband has pill addictions and other things. She's trying to save the marriage. What can she do? All right, so yeah, if you talk loud, I won't have to repeat. Let's see what's going on with this. I have to say, honestly, when I jump into your husband's energy, I do not feel that he's anywhere near being ready to fix this problem. And you may be dealing with someone who has a lifelong addiction issue. Most addictions, I mean, they are, lifelong addiction issues. But I'm talking about him not being willing to combat it effectively over the course of his entire life. So you should expect with him to see patterned behavior where possibly you guys rebuild a life and then it comes tumbling right back down again. You're going to have to ask yourself at this point if that's the ship that you want to be on, or is it time to jump? Is it time to jump ship on this one? He's going to need more professional help than what he's willing to get. And even with all of that professional help, this is the kind of battle that he needs to be doing on his own. In a way, you're almost sort of taking from him his growth and development by sort of like by being an enabler, allowing for yourself to come in and sort of rescue and repair. And even if you're not literally doing it, but I think that you would, I think that it's him knowing it mentally and emotionally that sets him right back. It's sort of like saying, if you love someone, set them free. And I think that as far as you're concerned, if you love yourself, you need to set yourself free of the guilt, whether you linger on with the concepts of like survivor's guilt. You have 2 past life issues that are affecting you at this point in your life right now. And you need to learn boundaries. Okay, so this is not your responsibility. And you have guilt because you feel that in some places you either brought the problem in or you engaged in the problem or you didn't maybe take the actions that maybe you should have in the past. You need to let go of that guilt as well. Okay? Yeah. Next one.
Okay, we have one from Denise Wrightington.
Okay.
It says, hi, Ivy. Are you picking up any messages from my father, Danny?
Okay. Denise. He's funny, but I don't feel like he says a ton. I feel like when he would talk, he would really talk, but he might be kind of quiet in between. And I feel like he likes his, whether it's like newspaper or the news or current events or politics or being updated. And he's looking at this situation right now. And I feel like we're talking about Corona, and he's shaking his head and he's saying, what times you're living in, and I wonder how this is going to go. And I've said this, we've said this, it's time for change. He's leaving you pennies. Well, we call them pennies from heaven, but I feel like some of them are nickels and some maybe dimes too, leaving you coins in general, visiting you in dreams, saying that you guys astral travel together, so you may feel like you're going into other dimensions. Talk of your mother, and talk of a ringing in your ears. So I feel like you do have clairaudience. He does ring the ears and put thoughts in your head. Talk again in regards to like you and your mother, red roses, which is a birthday or anniversary right around this time. Okay. He said that you were just going through old pictures or like a treasure chest, something. You're going through some old things and you were talking to him, and he knows. Okay. He knows. He says he always hears you and he sits with you every day. Keep eating healthy because you've been trying to do more with that. And I feel like you're going to have some really nice breakthroughs with that in like 3 weeks, 3 months. And he's very proud of you. He said you take on a lot. And I feel like a younger male in the family also, but I feel like you take on a lot with other people. And don't forget to play. Okay, don't forget to play. But it's like you talk about him to other people too. Okay, and I'm not sure if his name was handed down, but there's talk of the handed down name but he loves you very much. He likes to talk. Once he gets started, he likes to talk. He loves you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Shakura Zachary would like some insight on my marital situation. I need to get unstuck. And her husband's name is Nate.
Nate. Huh. Well, you guys are very different people. I mean, really, like polar opposite ends of the spectrum, and probably astrology chart and whatnot. Very different people. You do seem to have some past life influence going on here. And what that can look like is that in this life, you've taken on more of a parental role, like his ma, and he's perfectly happy with Peter Pan syndrome-like positions in the relationship. And it ceases to be a partnership. It becomes more of a burden. And I feel like it's become chains around your ankles, or weights around a weight around your ankles. You have a very strong grandfather here who would not find this acceptable. Okay, he carried his own weight. He carried weight for other people. He may have suffered a lot, and he was a very strong man. He was also a very strong man of faith. And he says that you need to ask right now if you're living in alignment with what God has planned for you. Okay, and I feel that your grandfather is overseeing this and has ideas that are better than this for you. But he also says you're not going to have anyone to blame but yourself when you're depleted and you've wasted too much time. There's nothing there. Okay, this is a relationship that is repeating an old concept from a previous life, where it's a parent to child dynamic. And it is not going to work in the everyday romantic long term. We have a class coming up. What is it? Friday, called Reaching the One. Okay. For those brand new, for those of you who don't understand why maybe your relationships are always kind of working out this way, where you're being drained, or you never seem to meet the one that you could build a life with. What does that even mean, the one? Is there such a thing? We're going to break all of that down in that class, and this would be good for you.
Okay. Alyssa Duran, could you let me know about any changes you see from my husband's career in the next several months? And the husband's name is Alex.
Alex has a good positive energy about him. He keeps a pretty good attitude. And I feel like even when he really isn't on the inside, he has a way of bringing his A game to the workplace and just being like, it's okay, I got it. He's like holding his own. And I think that all of this is really going to pay off for him. But I do feel like there are some advancements that he needs to make. You can't just always sort of maintain. Sometimes you have to say, I have to tear everything down and I have to rebuild. I want to be creative. I want to be more in charge. I could see him in business ownership. I could see him self-employed. I could see him doing more, where he's able to really get his hands dirty and create something. I see this going on in two separate areas. What was her question? Did she have a timeline on there?
Next several months.
Okay. Several months. So before I go on at sea with that, let's take a look at what is coming up for the next several months. Yeah, I feel a breakthrough. I feel a breakthrough at the end of the second month going into the third month. So it's almost like he's being given something. This could be from a boss. This could be from the company that he works for. From someone in a position of authority, they're giving him something. And he's able to take that and kind of move up. But I still feel like he's looking for that landscape. He's looking to be at the top of the mountain, be able to look down at what he's created, sort of like his legacy. And I feel like that's going to take more work.
We have one from Alicia Shoemaker.
Hi.
Howdy from Texas.
Hi.
Yeah. Wanting to know if you have any messages for me from my mother, Chris, or grandmother, Celia. And thank you so much again for doing this. You rock, lady.
Aw, thank you. I have Celia here, loud and clear. And her mother is Chris?
Chris.
Okay. She said, like, with a K? And I'm like, I don't know. But, so I feel like she's kind of particular, with what we do with her name, your mother. But Celia is quite loud and moves things. So I feel like she's moving your stuff. I feel like I don't know if your counters are cluttered. She's trying to like swipe everything off of there. I feel like going and like moving everything off of your counter. And sometimes things may literally fall, or papers might not be where you left them and stuff like this. I have almost like an OCD sense here. So whether this is you, her, both of you, but I feel almost like I want this clean. I want this clean. I want to Lysol this, you know, and everything being just so. And she says that you're moving more into a position of almost like healing. You're healing other people, and she's really proud of you for this. And your mother is talking about you in a relationship or you in marriage, okay, and watching over that and giving blessings there. And also talk of a ring that was handed down, and talk of you taking some charge on your life going forward. Your mother shows you holding some cards here, and it's almost like if you were about to play your hand, I don't know that you have the strongest hand at the table, but you do have one high card. And if you play it at just the right moment, you're going to be able to take what is rightfully yours. So I feel you going into a position here over the course of the next that could be 2 weeks, 2 months, where you're going to need to play your hand. It'll make more sense as you approach. And I feel like it's all in the timing. Okay. And these ladies are certainly talking to you all the time and letting you know when that timing is. There's also talk of a pink rose, which is a new beginning, a brand new start, could be a new business, something like that, or a new love. Okay. They love you very much. I don't know if you have a sister or if this is like your daughter. There's talk of the other female and giving out love to the other female who's going through some hardship and wrapping her in angel wings. They're not saying that they are angels. They're just saying she needs to know that she is being wrapped in angel wings. Okay.
Okay. Sarah Whitman says, "Hi, Ivy. My question is, I just met someone that is not my usual type and wanted to try something different. Is this going to pay off?" And his name is Nick.
I should do a show just on these because actually these are fun.
They're fun.
Well, is it going to pay off? I think that it's not good to go in. This is something we're talking about at class tomorrow. Don't go in with expectancy or demanding that it fit into a category. That the only thing that is of value is if you get married, you buy a house, and you procreate. You know, it's sort of like that is not how we should ever enter into something. This has its own value. Is it that? I don't think so. But does it hold value and lessons that you're supposed to engage in? This is all day, every day for us. Does it hold some type of lessons and experience that you're supposed to engage in order to maybe move on to the next person or the next level? Absolutely. We cannot level jump. Is this one that you're supposed to just overlook? I don't think so. I think that there is something significant here. I don't know that I see it being the type of relationship ultimately, and you can do whatever you want. You guys have free will, but I don't know that I see it as being the type of relationship ultimately that you want to commit to, or at least within like the first year. Because there is a tendency here with Nick, when he gets involved with someone, it's almost like the relationship becomes very almost toxic, or it really throws him. It kind of rattles him. I think that what we're looking at are triggers and some issues with intimacy. It's very possible that he's kind of great while you're dating, and then when you get it locked down, this isn't what you thought it would be. And that's why I think it's okay to engage in that if you choose to, because sometimes with people, you literally will not know what is there until you commit to it. So sometimes it's good to just jump in, and if it's a train wreck, you can just jump back out. But you would not have known. You could have spent so much time not knowing what's actually there. So Nick seems like the kind of person who can be one way and then get involved and be another way. I would also examine what areas of yourself might be feeding that equation, because if it's been a pattern for you that you see that, there's also something within you that needs to be worked out. And I feel like this is good training ground. That's what it looks like to me. Looks interesting. It's definitely fun too. And it's good companionship. Okay, so there's sort of a sense of you two being able to build some things here. I would just worry that they could also be knocked down deliberately or tumble, when times get tough. So we'll see. He needs to do a little work.
Okay. Karen McClay is asking if there is a message from Doug to Tony.
Or do you suggest something else?
No, that's good.
Is there a message from Doug to Tony? Okay. I feel like clean up your mess. It's like this person has all kinds of stuff laying on the floor, and it's like, you got to pick up your load. You got to pick up what's your responsibility. You have to maybe handle this in such a way where you're saying, it didn't work out the way I wanted it to, or maybe this is a heavy burden for me to carry, or maybe this is a bit of a mess, the situation I have going on right now, but I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to take ownership of it. I'm going to make what I can out of it. I'm going to take the lessons that I can, from it, and I'm going to sort of clean it up. And it just feels to me like this Tony is sort of overburdened with things, and that's what he's helping with. Okay, so yeah, absolutely. But you gotta pick up those pieces. Okay.
Okay. TK Truong asks, can you let me know if you see any changes to my career path in the next 6 to 12 months?
3 months out, could be 3 weeks. A new opportunity, possibly a new position, a new job, a new boss, even if it's like a lateral, move, it just feels new. And it feels to me like it has 2 other outlets of networking opportunity that come off of it. So you're saying 6 to 12 months, but it's actually coming in sooner than that. Based on what you do with this, we would be looking at additional change probably at about 1 year and 2 months into 1 year and 4 months. And we would be looking at you moving up into a higher position of authority where maybe you get like your own, office, or you get your own workload, or you get your own, it would be a position of greater leadership or management after that. So yes, there was also some talk of travel around the 6th month, and then again at the 8th month. There was talk of travel, and I didn't know if that was like just overseas for pleasure or if you combine it with work. But it does seem like that's something that you need to do. So yeah, there's change. All right, just quickly. Okay.
We have one from Candy Maya. She's wondering if you can tell me if you see my mother Elise moving back to New York. She moved to North Carolina over 20 years ago and says she thinks about moving back.
Elise?
Mm-hmm.
I think so, but I think with your help. So there seems to be you, and there seems to be a male. That's either your husband or your brother. There's another male in the family, brother-in-law, whatever. So there are 2 key people that would help to make this transition more doable. And there seems to be also a female connected to that male. So, that could be like a sisterly type, an additional energy here that makes it so that it's almost like that's where the shots are being called. Not to say that your mother isn't making her own decisions, but I think that with help. So could it happen? Yes, absolutely. And it actually feels to me like it really needs to happen. And I think it should have happened 3 years ago. It came up again a year ago. It came up again 6 weeks and 6 months ago. It's sort of like, I just feel the universe pushing and pushing. And it has a lot to do with timing. Maybe the things that you can't see yet, things that will be coming up in time. I think it would be best for her to be there with you guys. Yes. Easy transition, really. Okay.
The one from Joanne Hitchcock. Says, overall, I am more content than I have been in a while. I know I am on a new path. I don't think it includes the job I am at, though. Do you see a specific path or career change?
Well, instead of looking into what you're doing, I'm just going to look at your life contract really quick. And for those of you who don't know what a life contract reading is, it's what you signed on to do before you came to Earth. Everything within that life contract is on a deadline. So I do these as separate readings. I do past life readings and life contract readings. And those are useful to understanding why you came to Earth and what you're supposed to be doing with your time and energy. So I'm just going to take a peek at that real quick. You would have had a transition around 52, 57. So we would have seen a pivotal year, a year where you would be disconnecting from what you've been doing within the last 2 years. You would have had a cleansing process of 2 years leading up to that, where you had to detach and let go of all kinds of things that were no longer really serving you or your growth and development, including possibly relationships, money, career, all kinds of things, maybe even a residency change. And what it looks like right now is that you're sort of being tested to figure out ultimately where the light is shining for you. And that would be the path. That would be the light at the end of the tunnel. That would be your place of fulfillment. And I think that it has a lot to do with you in communications with others, but also being able to be behind the scenes. So if you were to do something in leadership or organization or management, and it may also involve like helping the elderly or events coordinating, or I get the sense with people sometimes of almost like either hospice, or they're in recovery, or they're transitioning in their life from one phase to another. I see you having an opportunity to help people, but you have to get out of these traditional sort of mindsets about what your job is meant to be. And I have you being incredibly fulfilled. Having even, I would say, a ministry within that, and feeling like you're put on the path at just the right time with just the right people to give them the encouragement, the love, and the support that they need verbally, even if you're not like their main caretaker or anything like that, because I really do having your energy pulling way back and not having to be there all the time. So it's not like you're like a full-time nurse. It's not that type of a scene. It's more like you're there for their growth and development and positivity and to give that healing. But you really prefer, with the way that you heal people, to be behind the scenes. You would be the kind of person who leaves something on somebody's doorstep. You would be the one who sends some cash in the mail, if you know that they're struggling. And that's just, it's a very humble position. And I think that you need to move into it more. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We are going to wrap it up. We do have another Ask a Medium coming up on Monday, May 4th. And we have the next Ask Ivy show Wednesday, April 29th, with the In Trial Times exclusively for essential workers or those suffering from COVID, death, illness, or job loss. That's going to be on Friday, May 1st at 8 p.m. That's a special Ask a Medium. Hope to see you guys then. Have a great week.